Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. We are live, as everyone will well know by now, based on the incredible amount of Twitter and social media fume over the last 24 hours. There's all kinds of shit going on around Raheem Sterling, so we thought, basically because editing videos takes ages, we just do it live. But we're joined by Chris Pajak, of course, to discuss all the ramifications of the latest news surrounding Liverpool's one-away star, Raheem Sterling. Chris, we got in, we've had a bit of a long day yesterday, got in, checked Twitter, shitstorm.
Shitstorm is right, mate. Bloody hell, Twitter was going mental.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much, no, but this was like up there with
it was the top trending topic. When I went on, I think I was searching for a Twitter handle for someone who was on the show this week for the edit, and there, Sterling. Second one down, Sterling. Okay, better check this before I find one. Yeah,
well,
what has he done now?
What have you done, Raheem? Yeah, it's mad. The thing that's getting me about it is not because for those who are unfamiliar with the story, because you might, if you live under a rock, you have a good enough internet connection to be watching this. The story broke that Raheem Sterling set to meet with Liverpool at the end of this week to basically to push up his contract negotiations, but really in that meeting to tell them that he's no intention of signing a new contract and that he wants to leave. That's the reported rumour, and so I immediately think, oh, go ahead, bullshit. But that was being reported by like Ben Smith at the BBC, and then most of the major news outlets.
I saw Rory Smith picking up on it and stuff as well, but I think it was Ben, wasn't it, who came out with the first one?
Yeah, so there was obviously quite a few reputable sources have come up with this, so it does make you think, okay, there must be something to it.
What did the Metro say?
The Metro said he's linked with a £75 million move to Real Madrid. Probably, because that's what the Metro are doing it. And we'll be getting Benzema. And Tevez. Anyway, so basically, it gathered pace, and basically what happened as a result of it is that everyone on social media, Liverpool fans, went into a frothing mouth frenzy about how much of a cunt Raheem Sterling is. Well, I know, and this is where I don't know where you sit on it, but until something concrete happens, I mean, I get being frustrated by it, I get being wound up by it, and I get if it's true, and that's the key part of it to me. If it's true, if he's decided he doesn't want to play for Liverpool anymore, then fuck him. Because I don't want people who don't want to play for Liverpool to play for Liverpool. I want to play for Liverpool. I'm fucking rubbish at footy, but I want to play for Liverpool. You know what I mean? I'd rather have, and it's sad, but maybe it's where Liverpool is. I just want, first and foremost, the players at the club should want to be at Liverpool Football Club, and then their ability is sad to say in some respects. I'd love it to be filled full of world class players. World class mercenaries would be lovely for a little bit, but loyal to the club first, ability second, and that's what Liverpool built around. So you can understand people's I'd say annoyance, to keep it nice and toned down.
Yeah, I think the crux of the issue is, and you said it well there, is if it's true. Now, if it's true, fume away, but until you know it's true, keep your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, look, we live in a world of opinions, and as ever, if you want to vent your opinions, by all means, do so in the comments. We'll go through some of those in a moment. But maybe I'm just maybe it's been a long season. Maybe I just don't get that emotional about the play, about players like that anymore. But for me, like I say, what it comes down to is people have built up this notion of what Raheem Sterling is as a person, and the idea of him being a mercenary. Look, Jamie Carragher said it brilliantly on Monday Night Football. He said, he needs to get a new agent because his agent is the one who's fucking this up royally. Raheem Sterling, look. Yeah, he is the one who does that interview with the BBC, but who's putting him up for that? Who's saying, go ahead?
No football player in the history of mankind has gone, I'll have a half-an-hour interview with BBC.
I'm sorry, but Wayne Rooney's agent doesn't let him do that. If he lets him do that interview, the second it starts to get out of control, he stops it and he pulls him out. He's left there for the best part of half an hour, saying the same thing over and over again. And the more he says it, the less convincing it sounds, because the more you bring it, it's like politicians.
Yeah, politicians. Exactly.
It's like you're trying to get a soundbite across, and the more you hear them say it, you start thinking, why are you trying to? What's your secret agenda here? So it was,
But did you see that Miliband one in the run up to the election where he said the same words in a different order like 6 times, literally almost word for word?
Yeah.
And that because he's got that one thing to say, and he didn't want to get away from that.
Footballers just shouldn't be talking about money. we shouldn't hear about how much money they're on. I know it's celebrity gossip culture that's you know the football's become, you know, in the last 20, 30 years, like, but you know but he shouldn't be talking about. He shouldn't mention money. There should have been no mention of money in that. And look, we're treading all ground on this. But for me, that's it. The thing that's wound me up most about this is the people who are like, some of the way he's being talked about on social media. He's a 20-year-old kid, and yeah, you know, you can think this what you want, but people who are fucking tweeting him and you know, and saying like, you're a money grabbing cunt and you're a parasite and you're scum of the earth and you need to fucking die and all this.
This is the problem. If it's untrue, you might have just forced them out of the club.
Yeah, and there'd be plenty of people who are now so wound up with him, they'd be like, fucking good. But you know what? You can't. These are the same people who bemoan the fact that Liverpool haven't got good players and we're not competing at the top of the fucking league. We've got one of the hottest talents in world football there, and he hasn't had a good season. He hasn't. But you know what? He's not going to become a worse footballer as he gets older. He's going to become a better. I like what I think is funny is how people are like, go to Man City, be the next Scott Sinclair. He's not going to be the next Scott Sinclair. I understand that there might be a very simple connection that some people might have made there, but you know, I'm talking about his position, of course. Scott Sinclair's shit. You know what I mean? Scott Sinclair's a Chelsea reject championship fucking level player, whereas you know, we've got Raheem Sterling is, as I say, one of the hottest talents in world football. He's going to be a world superstar if he continues his development. The issue is, of course, is whether he does. You know, he has the potential to go and spunk it by going to Man City, and he might not get in the team. But you know what? He might actually get in the team, and he might be amazing. And we'll all look fucking stupid if he don't get his market value.
From my point of view, what I dislike about this most is the fact that obviously both sides are at fault for this. I think looking from the outside in, I can say Liverpool haven't handled it well enough, and his agents and Raheem Sterling's parties haven't handled it well enough. But what it's ultimately going to do is only going to hurt Liverpool Football Club in the long run. And that's the problem for me, is that, you know, if people know that he doesn't want to stay at Liverpool, well, great. You just said it yourself. We're not going to get his market value for him, which is a fucking shame, because a week ago I sat here on the couch, completely unrelated to this and to his personality and everything, and said, I'd sell him for the money. But now I'm looking at it going, we might only get 30 million for him. That's not good enough. We need 50 million bare minimum for him, I think, so that we can make changes to the squad and actually improve on having Raheem Sterling. If we pick up 30 million, that worries me, because we're not going to be able to get the calibre of player that we need to challenge for the top four next season.
Yeah, it's an issue. The thing for me, it all feels like his agent has been posturing to try and force Liverpool's hand on it, and it's backfired, because look at the reaction. And like I say, look, as I say, people are entitled to rage about this, because as I say, if it's true, what a dickish behaviour to do that, and how disrespectful to the club and to the fans to be for that, if that's true. But for me, all of this feels like his agent has tried to trying to get as much money out of Liverpool as possible, and again, you know, that's his job. But what a dickhead. Yep. Because ultimately the way he's done it is he's fucked it, because there's a good possibility now that, like, look, I said, there's people reacting in the comments, there's people on social media, there's people talking in pubs around the city, and they're saying, fucking get rid of him, he's shit, we don't want him, and they've turned on Sterling, and that's for me, yeah, Liverpool should be tying up his contract sooner. They should have that handled. It should be done much more quietly. But his agent is the one who's basically put him into that.
His agent's fucked himself as well, though, Paul. You know, what football player's going to look around now and think, I want fucking A.D. Ward as my representative? He's hung Sterling out to dry. You know what I mean? He really has. And no footballer's going to go, yeah, I'll go with him, because he'll make me look like an absolute tool and turn the entire team and their supporters against me. Yeah. Nah, he's fucked up. You're right, he's fucked up big time. But so have Liverpool in this as well. Yeah,
I think with his side of things, though, because like I said, what annoys me is it's all probably win-win for him as an agent, because that's what agents are like, is that he's posturing to get more money out of Liverpool, which again is his job. That's what he's basically hired to do for Sterling.
You can do that behind closed doors.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if he's engineered this situation where it's come out in the press and he's thinking, well, I might put pressure on Liverpool, and everyone go, come on Liverpool, sort your act out, which a lot of people have done, and rightly so to some extent, because we don't want this dragging on. So Liverpool are pressuring into paying him the money that they feel he earns. But what's actually happened is, as I say, there's been a backlash against Sterling, which could end up driving him off the club. He gets a big money transfer, so he gets a cut of the transfer fee or the signing-on fee. He gets a big money.
But he won't get as big a cut as he would have done. because he devalued Sterling as a
Potentially,
player.
but either way, as an agent, he gives a shit. It's
Well,
fucking
look,
money in his ass
if
pocket.
it's a difference between Sterling getting sold for 50 million and Sterling getting sold for 35 million, he will give a shit.
Yeah,
because
but
he could be talking about a million quid.
But what I'm saying is that this situation can only go one or two ways. He either signs a new contract or we fuck him off, and his agent has put him in that position. So either way, his agent's getting his agent's getting a payday.
But it's short term.
Yeah.
It's short term. That's what he's looking at it and thinking, I'm getting a payday. Like,
He
could get a fucking much bigger payday
Yeah.
out of him signing a contract in a year's time, go moving for 60 million.
What's fascinating about this story now, it's actually developed in the last few hours, is he was interviewed on Talksport, wasn't he? And have you got the
A.D. Ward, yeah. So, directly to Talksport, he said, the story has been blown somewhat out of proportion. And then it goes on to say, Raheem and his representatives have a meeting scheduled with Liverpool later this week, and we will take proceedings from there. I think later on it says that this meeting's actually been planned for some time now.
Yeah.
So it's been leaked. But this is something Carragher was talking about on Monday Night Football again, isn't it? The fact that, this stuff is getting leaked from somewhere, and it ain't going to be the club who's leaking that type of stuff.
But it all feeds into me. It's like I felt like saying at the time, and that's not news. No. People are reporting. It's reporting on fucking speculation. And I know press have to have sources, proper real journalists. So like I say, this is not the fault of Ben Smith as such. It's just the way that the media's gone in general. It's like in the attempts to grab the headlines and to trend and to get clicks through to your websites. And it's sad that this is the way the mainstream media's gone as well. I'd expect that of us. You know what I mean? I'd expect that of blogs and fan sites and because we really we're not official organisations. We're not beholden to the rules of the NUJ and all that, and any code of conduct. But it's just like Sky Sports doing that. No, Sky sources revealed that there's been no movement on the such and such transfer. So you're saying there's no news? Basically, what they're saying is something's going to happen at the end of the week. We're reporting that something might happen at the end of the week. Report on it when it fucking happens, dickheads. Because look,
have they got like a non-breaking news graphic?
God almighty! But you know what it is? It winds me up because it's just another example to fucking stick the knife into Liverpool fans. And like I say, just look at the fucking angst it's caused amongst Liverpool's fan base. And you know what? And it's because it's a simple fact in the internet at the moment. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United create an attention-grabbing headline around any one of those clubs and watch your traffic spike. Watch your traffic go through the roof. And I'm not saying that there's not necessarily any value to the report of this, but for me, I can say it just feels like they got a little bit of info. They wanted. It was a great opportunity to get an exclusive and get a load of interest.
It's not an exclusive.
It's
is it? That's
bullshit.
the point.
That's what it is. Like like I say, is it Friday? He's got this meeting. Is it Thursday? Tell us on Thursday or Friday how it went. Report on that. Find out what happened. We'll find out what's being said in that room. Don't speculate on what he may or may not say. It's bullshit. It's the worst example of how the mainstream media is basically just a big pile of shit at the moment, and it's lost its values, and it's basically playing to the lowest common denominator to try and get attention. It winds me up, and it winds me up doubly so because if I wasn't a Liverpool fan, it wouldn't bother me. If I supported a fucking mid-table, and I'm sure there's some fans of the clubs who go, you already do support a mid-table team, good on you. But if we supported the Aston Villas of this world or whatever, this shit doesn't happen as much and it wouldn't bother you. But like I say, it's just because of everything that goes around, everything that goes with it, and the fucking news. It basically drives me to fucking despair. And the thing, like I say, ultimately I don't like about it is the character assassination, and because it's people who've had their heads turned by the media on this. And we all have it, don't we? You gain an irrational dislike for all kinds of people you've never met. That's what celebrity and fucking fame and all that does to people, I guess. But I met, we met Sterling the week. He seemed a nice lad. He seemed genuinely happy. He didn't have a fucking sulk on. He didn't have a fucking cob on. He had a good laugh. We actually had a little bit of a laugh with him about the whole his old betrayal in the media. And he played, he actually
played up to
it. But in a good way. He wasn't like aggressive about it. He wasn't like hiding from it. He knows that he's basically been made to look like a dickhead, and he was good for that. And so like I say, I personally wouldn't. I'm not going to character assassinate him. If he decides to go because he doesn't want to play for Liverpool anymore, then I will change my opinion of him. He's dead to me, so much like Fernando Torres was for a number of years, etc. But I'm not on the let's nail Raheem Sterling to a wall train just yet. Like I don't know what about yourself?
No, I'm not yet. But I think I made my point before this broke, and my point was I'd sell him. Now I'm looking like we're backed into a corner, and I don't think there's any way that this situation ends well sell for Liverpool. You know, I think that, you know, we're a caged animal right now, and we're going to need to get as much money as we can for him if the rumours are to be believed.
Yeah, I think the thing is, just going back a point, is that, you know, that like his agent coming out and saying it's all been blown out of proportion. If you type Raheem Sterling into Google, the top news is still Sterling says he wants to leave. Because there's no value in the update to that. It's like, a great example of it was the other week. There's a Brendan Rodgers out playing flies over Anfield.
Nothing happened for the Benitez.
The build up to it is like, it's getting tweeted, it's getting reported. There's pictures of it being made. The BBC are reporting it. Fucking every major news outlet are reporting that this is playing. At the weekend there was a in Rodgers We Trust playing that went over Anfield. Not a fucking mention anyway. Not a mention. Not a peep. Because there's no clicks, there's no sensationalism, there's no story in Liverpool fans support the manager. That's the way it is, and it's sad to say, but you know, at the minute the narrative, and this is what winds me about Liverpool so much, and people bite at it, and our fan base in general, and I'm sure it happens to people across. But I can only speak for our fan base because we see a lot of it in this job. We bite too easily on the stories that are being laid up for us by the media. You know, and like I say, you know, it's this, Sterling's lazy, Sterling is greedy, Sterling is fucking, you know, is a fucking knobhead. Sterling's got 50 kids. All of these are not true. You know, ultimately, you know, he's a badly advised young player. He needs to pull his head out. He needs to pull his head out of it, ass one way or the other. But, you know, again, who else is advising him? Someone else who's close to him should be telling him this. And so, you know...
First thing he needs to do is fuck that agent off big time.
Yeah.
Like. And if he wants to get back in the good graces of Liverpool fans and he wants to stay at this club next season, I think that's where he's got to fucking make his first move.
Yeah, well, it's simple. Look, his first move needs to be to sign a contract, whatever it is. Find an acceptable value for where you are in the team, that's fine. I've got no problem. I've got no problem paying... If he's 100 grand a week, if that's the market value for him, pay him 100 grand a week, pay him 120, whatever. At this point, I genuinely don't care what we pay him. As long as he performs on the pitch, because that was another great. The best point that Jamie Carragher made was if he wants to move for footballing reasons, if he wants to move to win silverware, but you were 90 minutes away from being in an FA Cup final, you know what I mean? You had an Aston Villa FA Cup semi-final. Where was your world class performance there? You can't expect other people to do it. And Jamie Carragher said you've got to earn trophies; they're not just given to you. You know, and you know, yeah, if he wants to be, look, go and do what Pepe Reina's done at Bayern Munich, or you know what Michael Owen did at Man United. Good on you, great. Have some fucking have some tarnished silverware in your trophy cabinet at the end of your career. That's fantastic, great. But you know, do you want to actually go and win it yourself? You should look. Gareth Bale fucking moved to Real Madrid and won silverware himself last season by his performances. You know, will Raheem Sterling's got the potential to do that at a Man City or a Bayern or a Real. But he's had the potential to do it for Liverpool this season, and he's not done it. Where are the guarantees that he'll do it? He'll step up in a bigger team full of bigger names and bigger egos.
That's it. I think the other point that Carragher made is the fact that, you know, he will probably stunt his development if he does go to somewhere like a Man City or an Arsenal. He's not getting regular football every single week. He won't develop as quickly, you know, and his star therefore might not shine as bright throughout his entire career. If he makes the wrong decision now, that could fuck him for the rest of his career, you know what I mean? If he goes there and doesn't get regular football, doesn't become the player that he's got the potential to become, then he won't get to that huge club that he might want to one day go to Real Madrid or Barcelona, and he might not get that move because he's not proved himself in the Premier League. He's not become the best that he can become.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let me just get a few tweets and stuff on the matter to get some people's opinions, because it's not all about us, eh? There's lots of Liverpool fans, and some people will agree, some people will disagree, and that's the beauty of the internet. Favours of the few before. It fucking winds me up. Anyway, just on a random note, John Arisa, because everyone wants to know what former Liverpool left backs think about Raheem Sterling. Sterling doing it all wrong. Should have just kept quiet and worked hard for himself, the club and the fans. And John Arisa, you are fucking spot on. Spot on, Ginge. What's great? A great little comment from Michael Sweeten, friend of the show, says it'll later turn out that it was all just a massive ploy to get a modest shirt number improvement. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Hey, listen, if he wants, but this is the point, you know, if he wants to be an important player, say, listen, mate, you know, one season, here's the number 7 shirt for Liverpool next year. Have 7, 11, 8, take your pick. Have one of them big shirts next season and prove yourself a big player. And then, you know what, if one of the massive clubs comes calling at the end of the season, you know what, good on you, go for it, but it would feel a bit snide for him to walk out the door now. Anyway, at Ryan Krause is 50 million this summer, or he can be a bench player next season. Didn't perform in the Champions League and doesn't warrant 100k per week. Pacman Scouse, he can piss off. LFC have looked after him, even let him take a holiday. Because besides he can't hit a barn door, sell the twat.
Yeah, I've got one from Facebook here. Ricky Shah. I'm sick to death of all these cunts that think they can treat our club like dirt. He said he feels bullied, but Rodgers and the club have defended him even when he done that travesty of an interview. Having said this, Air needs to fuck off and work in my local chippy, and FSG need to seriously alter transfer and contract negotiation policy.
Yeah, it is you know, Liverpool keeping the belt tight. You know what, it's sad though. I wish we were in a financial position where we could just go, you know, like you would all do on Footy Manager. Just a few more clicks up, just 140 was, well, I'll make it 155 just in case. Well, it's 50, you know, as an example, like £15,000 a week is a fucking lot of money in the real world, and it's sad, but that's the nature of where Liverpool are. You know, they have to penny pinch, and I wish they didn't, but there you go. Mike Whitworth at Witty 57, don't care now. Hope he goes to City and rots like Sinclair did. Like every good young English talent. My only thing on the City thing is that they need to rebuild. They need some young players. I can actually see him going in and being a regular
and he's English
player for them.
as well. And they need English players big time. Yeah, this is a good one, Paul. Colm Brennan. He runs like a dinosaur and can't kick the ball. Sell the cunt, not arsed.
This is the problem with it, is that like it's funny, but but no, I know, but it is, but that's the problem with it. It's just
there's no need.
No, but it's like funny. You know what it's like. It's like the fucking it's like the Ian Ayre stuff. It's like people go Ian Ayre shit. It's like, well, I understand that. I'm not saying Ian Ayre's fucking amazing at fucking at his job or whatever, but it becomes a catchphrase. It becomes a buzz thing. It becomes like genuinely accepted knowledge that this is like. Fucking slagging him off for his physical appearance and fucking stuff like that. You know, sorry, but I wasn't fucking saying that when he was scoring goals against Man City last season. You know what I mean? When he was in boss form and all that. And I think it's, you know, I think it's a very sad state of affairs when people are turning to like fucking personal fucking insults and stuff. I personally think it's pathetic. Like, but I think the real sensible comment coming from like John Barnes. He's 20-year-old boy who's achieved nothing. He's won nothing, he's done nothing, he's got potential, he's got great potential, he should play football, you know, absolutely spot on. What fucking winds me up, again, in a bigger sense of it, is like, Gary Neville's had his fucking say on it, and fucking, it's all, you can go on Google now, and there's like, fucking 20 ex-players who've got an opinion on it. I'm not going to we're giving our opinions on it like you, but it just feels like a big media gangbang to fucking get everyone a little bit of fucking credit and fucking airtime. Like, I mean, let's see what. As far as I'm concerned, like I say, I'll make my judgments one way or the other based on what he does. And if he chooses to sign a contract for Liverpool, then fucking good on him. And I hope he has his best years at Liverpool Football Club. If he decides he wants to leave and digs his heels in, then fuck him. You know, but until that point, chilly beans. You know what I mean? Let's wait and find out, rather than, as I say, being fucking horrible and fucking being nasty to what is essentially a 20-year-old kid. I'm sorry, but 10, 15 years ago, you know, 20-year-old kids didn't get into first team. I know it's the nature. I know it's the way football's gone. Like, but where's the understanding of people making mistakes? Hands up, who made mistakes age 20? Sure,
still making them now.
Well, fucking exactly. You know what I mean? He's a footballer. He's not the next Mensa candidate, is he? Like, you know what I mean?
This is something I've been saying for fucking ages, Paul, is the fact that Liverpool, and it's a whole thing across the Premier League, is they don't train the young people coming through. They don't media train them properly. You know what I mean? They might say to them, you can't say this and you can't say that, but you can see the difference between American sports stars and English sports stars. You know, they know how to treat the media, they know how to deal with it, they know what they can and can't say, but they don't do it in this fucking boring manner. And when they are left to their own devices, they don't fucking shoot themselves in the foot. You know, this is something that I think our club needs to do better anyway. They need to put an arm around it. They need a person to guide them through this. They need to go, this is the fucking media, this is essentially the fucking devil. You know what I mean? You need to be able to skate around it. You need to be able to move in and out of it quickly, and no one fucking harm you.
The problem is, it was a point that John Scales made in Shai Hughes' last book, and he said the problem is that because the media are fucking vultures, the players, as you said, they are told that they are trained to basically not say anything in the media, but as a result, they've got pages to fill. and they've got clicks to generate. So the second the player steps out or slips, boom, they're right back in there, they've nailed him. Raheem Sterling hasn't done himself any favours. And, you know, it's sad, but like I say, it goes back to this fucking laughing gas fucking shit. I'm sorry, but, you know, it's a new fad to me. It's not something that was ever part of our generation growing up, like, but I know it. I know that it is a common thing. You know, there's loads of fucking lads his age fucking doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's professional football. Yeah, he should fucking do better. But ultimately, you know, he's fallen foul of the fact that he's fallen foul of his own stupidity.
Well, no,
and
again,
sorry,
it comes back to the fact that he's got the wrong people around him. Because if that was fucking me and my mates doing it, I guarantee you, you know, it wouldn't get out. Yeah. Because I've got the right people around me.
No, exactly that, like you. So I feel, you know, I have to carefully phrase this because I feel a bit sorry for Raheem Sterling. Oh, boo-hoo, the fucking poor lad who's trying to earn fucking, you know, 6 figures a fucking week to play a bit of football. Like, but ultimately, as a person, the way that he's being, as I say, he's being caricatured in the media, and the way he's being treated. Take the fucking business side of things away, because like I say, boil it down to brass tacks. Footballers, you know, there's a ludicrous wage for footballers, a ludicrous going rate for footballers. That's twice so for English players. Agents do their fucking jobs. They're the real fucking vultures in these things. So you can put that on because that is just what football is from a personal level. He's a fucking 20-year-old lad who's bound to do stupid things. He's just a 20-year-old lad. Everyone makes mistakes. He's just unfortunate in that regard. That's the nature of the nature of the interest in the world around him. Means that, you know, it's everything he does is amplified tenfold, and he's fallen foul of that. You know, if let's put it this way, if Wayne Rooney had fucking done something stupid this year, and let's face it, he's done some very, very fucking stupid things in his time as a footballer, or someone else in the England team had done something equally stupid, they'd be, you know what I mean, the attention would have been taken off still, and no one would be as arsed about this. Ultimately, we'll have to see how it goes, but I still boil down
so
to...
we're open for someone to knock Rooney out again?